Good. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Medane TV. Little multi-league road racing action here at the Charlotte Roval, the road course oval, and it's going to be exciting here. Scott Patton on the pole with a blistering lap time, getting ready to do battle here, taking some lefts and some right-hand turns. Christopher Davis, Rob Haynes, Michael Milfeld Jr., and Andrew Schulte up in the top five, and we're getting ready to rock and roll. And you can see there is the starting order on your screen as we get these drivers lined up on the racetrack, getting ready to go for 31 laps here at Charlotte. You can take a peek there. All the drivers lined up there on what would be just about the front stretch. You can see the start-finish line there on the right-hand side of your screen. We're going to keep that track map up just throughout the entire show, just so you can see where your favorite drivers are throughout the evening. Makes it a little bit easier for us here in the booth as well. And really excited. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty of the season. After this race, we've got the round of 8, Texas, Kansas, Martinsville, and the Championship 4 race at Phoenix International Speedway, or Raceway, rather. And that's going to be wrapping up the season on November 4th. But before we get there, in less than a month's time, we've got to do a little bit of road racing. And these guys getting ready to hit the track. There they go. Going to make a quick parade lap, get the tires warmed up, get the seatbelts pulled tight, the virtual seatbelts pulled tight, and get everything ready to go here for 31 laps. 20 drivers strong, as you see the starting lineup there on your screen. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the Medane TV booth, and we are already getting ready to go a green flag racing. And this is going to be very exciting. Scott Patton with 10 wins on the season. Pretty much a shoe-in, as he's got the points lead by a very strong margin over Vern Margott, who is in second place. Christopher Davis, Wesley Holland, James Hearns, Eric Talent, Charlie Widener, and Jeff Merck currently in the top 8. And Merck's got 4-point lead over Bill Paradise in 9th. James Lehman, Kim Quick, and Kyle Chadwick still in the top 12. They need to do everything they potentially can, everything they possibly can, to get themselves into the top 8 to move on and try and get themselves qualified for the championship hunt. Going to be exciting to follow this race. We're all lined up 2 by 2 throughout the entire field. No caution flags here tonight. All green flag racing. Drivers going to have to pit at least one time for tire and fuels. Some drivers may potentially split it into 3 sections here, 2 pit stops to make sure that they get everything that they possibly need. And you can be able to follow along with all the drivers over on the left-hand side of your screen. The Medane TV scoring tower brought to you by SDK Gaming. Shout out to those guys for letting us use their product, and you'll be able to get all the action here live. And you can see that starting grid essentially on the left-hand side of your screen as well. Looks like 2 drivers not making the call here to the green flag. Anthony Santoro in the 66, Sean Turner in the 36, still in the garage area, parked in the car. So we'll see if they rejoin the field here once we take the green flag. But working the backstretch, quick little tour of the racetrack, let you know exactly where these drivers are in fact going to be racing. First time we've had the Charlotte Roval here on Medane TV. We've had a lot of road courses throughout the past couple of months here, especially with the multi-league, but I do believe this is in fact the very first time we've had the Charlotte Roval. So it's going to be very exciting to see regular Charlotte Motor Speedway repaved, rescanned rather, back in 2018 here with the iRacing service, and they added in the road course for all the road racing fans. The drivers like to turn left and right. So it's pretty cool to see. We've seen NASCAR and the Xfinity Series run here many, many times. And now we're going to see the Multi-League Cup Series run into the Round of 8 championship. And there it is, green flag in the air. Scott Patton with the jump that he needs. Already has a couple of car lanes now. Over Davis. Rob Haynes up in the top 5 as well, with Michael Milfeld Jr. in the 123 Federated Auto Parts car. You can see Scott Patton definitely done his homework here, as he's already got quite a bit of a lead now, almost a full second over Christopher Davis after the first few corners. Exciting racing all the way around the track. Here's a good shot at Charlie Widener, currently holding on to the 8th position in the Spam Ryan, the number 95 car, trying to chase down Wesley Holland there in the 41. And you can see everybody already single file around this racetrack, want to basically get in a rhythm and want to race the racetrack before they start racing their competitors and racing their peers here. This is a really tricky road course. We're working lap number 1 here, 31 laps on the docket. And real blistering fast here. You look at it right here, it's almost like, hey, we're running an oval race. Oh, by the way, there's a hard chicane up here that gets these drivers to slow themselves up and get down into the corner. See if we can actually ride on board here with the points leader, current race leader, Scott Patton. Kind of take you around this racetrack. All the way down this front straightaway oval, and you can see cut through the chicane here. You're going to cross the start-finish line. This is the NASCAR start-finish line here in the middle of the front stretch. Cross it right there, and you get up through the gears almost. You get all the way down here into the new turn 1. You take that left-hand turn, and it takes you down in through the infield here. Very, very narrow concrete walls on either side, and you can see that it takes a lot of technicality to get down in through these corners. Slow and methodical down in through the infield. Scott Patton done his homework here on the road course. Going to watch out for that jump there in the final corner before getting back on the NASCAR straightaway. Here jamming up through the gears here on the backstretch, and it's not quite like the other ones where you can get all the way up here in full gear and get into turn number 3, because there is this chicane, this dogleg, this bus stop here 3/4 of the way down the backstretch. So all the drivers are going to have to slow back down, go back down through the gears, and come back up as they take down or as they head down rather into NASCAR 3 and 4. You get another chicane down here as well. Right after the pit road, it's going to bring you into the infield grass. Take a left, take a right, take another left, and there's the start-finish line. 1 lap around the Charlotte Roval. And these drivers have to do that 31 times, so it's definitely a tall order here. Scott Patton looking to add win number 11 to his repertoire and his resume here for the Multi-League Cup Series, brought to you by Stone River Outfitters. And we want to thank them for jumping on board as the series sponsorship. Be sure to check them out in Amherst, New Hampshire, the New England's premier fly tying shop and outdoor shop. Check them out. They got a brick and mortar shop up there in New Hampshire. They're on the web and on Facebook as well. Be sure to check them out. Support the ones that support us. And you can see Scott's doing a great job up here in the front. See, we take a look at some of the action throughout the field. James Hearns here in the 78 car, right in behind the 199. You can see trying to close into the back bumper of him. And Jeff Merck trying to hold on to that top 8 spot, running in the position right now. Having a pretty good run so far, but needs to get a little bit better, needs to get up towards the front and capitalize on all the points that he can get. Oh, the 05 of James Lehman, last week's winner at Talladega, hard in the outside wall there. Looks like he scraped up the side of the right side of the car. Wesley Holland off the pace just a little bit down there on the 8. That red Multi-League Cup Series banner shows that he is, in fact, one of the championship contenders, still trying to battle for that 8th place spot to get into the top, or the round of 8 rather, here in the next week. And man, oh man, I'm excited to see what we've got in store for the round of 8, so we find out which 4 of these drivers is going to be racing for a championship here in just a couple of weeks' time. Crazy to think that this season is already getting ready to wrap up. All the excitement we've had here on Thursday nights with the Multi-League Cup Series, and no shortage of action here tonight at the Charlotte Roval. Left turns, right turns, narrow corners, and man, oh man, these guys really putting on one heck of a show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, both on Facebook and on YouTube. I believe the Twitch stream is down for one reason or another, but more importantly, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, so be sure to give us a like and subscribe and share. All that good stuff, it really helps us out, especially with the share. Especially friends know if you're watching some iRacing action here on a main TV. bit of off-track action from the 199 of Haynes. See if he can take a look at that Toyota. Gave up some of the spots there. It looks like he cut through one of the chicanes, had to slow down and let the drivers go on by to essentially let him get those positions back, rather. Just outside the top 10 here in 11th, down 8 spots from where he qualified. Car still looks relatively clean, the beer store Camry, but still trying to make up some ground here, trying to get back into the top 10, back into the top 5 there. And the beer store and Cheetos, what a good combination. It's a good sponsor combination. I wonder if he's got, Cheetos and beer in the car. That'd be kind of neat. Just taking a look at the action across the racetrack here, working lap number 5. Here you can see a good battle here for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Bert Markheim, the second place driver in the points now. Number 33, trying to chase down last week's winner, James Lehman. Lehman up 7 spots from where he qualified, currently holding on to the 8th spot. We unfortunately didn't make the show due to a power outage last Thursday night at Talladega. But we joked when we did the rebroadcast this morning, which you can check out on YouTube. The old live car, his burnout, victory burnout, was longer than the race. Did a great show, had a great showing putting on that race. One exciting race. We have some technical difficulties here in the Vidane TV booth. Unfortunately, no timing and scoring or telemetry or even commentary, unfortunately, because we forgot to unmute our microphone as we did the broadcast. But you can still check that out. Great win by James Lehman and dominating performance there. And you can see a little bit of damage there on the right front of that car. The 05 Valvoline machine crumpled up just a little bit. He's trying to chase down that span can. The 95 with Charlie Widener. He's got the 7th spot. He's sitting right where he qualified in that 7th position. So having a relatively decent night here. A lot of these drivers will be the first ones to admit that road racing is not their forte, but we got quite a few of them on the schedule here. One guy who's loving it is Scott Patton, out front by 4.5 seconds over Christopher Davis. Jeff Burke is up in at 3rd, but he's 10 seconds back from the leader already, 6 laps in. Andrew Schultz and Wesley Holland currently in the top 5. And you can see Scott Patton exactly what he needs to do. He's got all of the clean racetrack out in front of him. Doesn't have to worry about traffic too much right now, and it's quite a long ways around this racetrack as well, so you don't have to really worry about too much lap traffic. Maybe potentially after pit stops here, 25 laps to go, and you're going to be able to see that these drivers going to come down pit road at one point or another here. James Lehman coming into the dog leg here before the start-finish line, and we've seen some crazy passes here in the NASCAR series that's run here. A little bit of a wiggle there for Vern Markheim, I believe that was, as we were riding on with 33, shooting down into turn number 1. Again, still holding on to the top 10. Currently running in 9th right now for second place driver in points. Taking a peek here, looks to be Anthony Santoro, the 66 car, coming down pit road in the number 66 Camry, and he's going to get some service done to that machine. All 20 drivers appearing to be out on the racetrack now, and Scott Patton just picking them up, putting them down here, trying to make quick work of this road course action here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We had mentioned after this week only 4 races to go for the championship here in the Multi-League Cup Series. Very, very exciting here on Thursday nights here on Vidane TV. Very cool to see this season kind of develop, and we've seen a dominating performance from Scott Patton. We mentioned at the top of the show, 10 wins on the season. It looks like he's going for win number 11 here tonight. And man, oh man, you're making it look easy here at the Roval. So you can see these drivers pretty much spread out throughout the racetrack at this point in time, and you got to keep an eye on that little cutout there on the last corner before the front straightaway, the NASCAR front straightaway there. We saw Andrew Schultz get real close to that left-hand side wall, and no safer barrier there. That's all concrete, so that's going to be tough on the race car itself. But you can see everybody pretty much spread out here at this point in time, just kind of biding their time, learning the racetrack a little bit, trying to see what works, trying to get themselves into the corners, trying to get out of the corners there and find out where their car is strong. And I think we're going to see this for a couple of more laps before these drivers really start to kind of crank up the heat just a little bit. A lot of give and take early on here. Only seen a couple of off-track incidences throughout the field here tonight so far. Great speed shot there, right mounted on the camera. As we take a look at James Hearns there in the 78 car doing battle with the 199, the beer store car. Charlie Widener up in front of him. And you can see the drivers just kind of sliding those back tires on to the Charlotte turn 9 there. You can see that on the wall. Once these drivers get more familiar with the racetrack, and we made mention they do have practice before the race. They've practiced all week long here since Talladega last Thursday night, and it's been rather exciting. But once these drivers get more and more familiar, more and more comfortable with the racetrack, the racing action itself will definitely start to heat up. You don't want to go through and really push the issue with some of the other drivers here if you don't know the racetrack or you're not familiar with the racetrack. And that's one of the things you can see there over on the right-hand side of your screen with the traffic. What you're seeing is circles going around the racetrack, and the numbers inside those circles are going to be the position that car is running. So you can see that blue dot chasing down the 18 dot. That's Scott Patton, the leader. He's chasing down the 8th base driver of David Schreck in the 9 car. Not that Schreck is off pace. Scott Patton is just on pace, picking up laps, putting them down like it's his job, doing a really good job here on the oval Charlotte Roval. Almost a 9-second lead now over Christopher Davis, and then another 5-6 seconds or so back to Jeff Merck in the 3rd place position. James Hearns right now taking a peek to 78. Under fire from Rob Haynes in the 199 beer scored car. These 3 drivers, Charlie Widener up in front of these guys by a couple of car lengths. Pretty much the closest racing action on the track. Everybody else pretty much spread out throughout the track, trying to learn just a little bit. You can see David Schreck goes 1 lap down to leader Scott Patton, and it appears that he's actually going to come down pit road with 20 laps to go. So that tells me we may very well have 2 pit stops here, and this might force the hand of some of the drivers up on the lead lap, and some of these lead lap drivers checking with Scott Patton here in the 46 car out for a Thursday night cruise. Almost 10-second lead now over Christopher Davis, but we've seen many times here on the road courses here in the Multi-League Cup Series and all of the series here on Lane TV. You really need to make sure that you run perfect laps all the way through to the end, because we've seen many times where within the last couple of laps, a few incidences or mistakes will happen from the leaders or somebody up towards the front of the pack, and they'll give up all that track position and everything that they fought for to keep, to hold on to all night long, goes up in smoke. So Scott Patton trying to stay concentrated. Even though he does have quite a bit of a cushion in behind him, still wants to stay concentrated throughout the entire race here, because he's got to pick these laps up, put them down. You can see him hit the curving just a little bit, doesn't even seem to slow him down as he shoots on down into that Charlotte, that last NASCAR oval rather. Turns 3 and 4, he's going to come down to this front stretch chicane and cross that line to bring us to 19 laps to go. Daniel Ferguson, the 25 Aflac car, he's going to come down pit road, get some service to that machine. 4 tires and fuel, looks like a little bit of damage repair as well for the number 25 car as he sits on pit road taking a peek. Looks like 16 drivers right now on the lead lap, the last one being Anthony Santoro in the 66 car. Back here to this battle for 7th. Charlie Widener still holding on to it. A couple of drivers right in behind him, James Hearns and Rob Haynes, working right in together, and you can see 2 of those drivers from 78 and 95 have those red banners on the top of those windshields, showing that they are in fact still eligible for the championship, trying to get down to the nitty-gritty, trying to get themselves into the round of 8 to find out which 4 drivers are going to be going to Phoenix with an opportunity to win the championship here in the Multi-League Cup Series. And you can see the 78 starting to close in now on the back bumper of that Spam Cam, the 95 car of Charlie Widener. He's getting right up to the back bumper here. And we'll see if he's going to try and address the issue. There's a couple of different passing zones around this racetrack. A lot of the drivers like to use the big wide NASCAR corners to try and essentially draft up to the driver in front of them, get up and around them, rather than use some of the tight corners throughout the infield, the racing surface in there, because it's tough to get these great big stock cars to kind of maneuver in those tight corners. And a lot of times towards the end of the race, we'll see some passing action here in this final corner as well. Andrew Schultz, Jeff Burke doing a little bit of battle there. Wesley Holland up in that mix as well. And here's what we were talking about. The 199 going to go around the outside here in that final corner and that final chicane or whatever to try and get up and around Rob Haynes. And it does look like the 199 gets around as they cross the start-finish line. James Hearns back to 9th. Rob Haynes up to 8th. He's going to set his sights now on Charlie Widener. And you can see right on the back bumper, feathering the throttle, trying to figure out where he's going to be faster than the 95 car. You can see changes his lineup just a little bit because he wants to try and get in the inside of the outside of the 95 car. Hitting the rumble strips. You can see right on that back bumper, waiting for the 95 car to make a mistake. And this is irritating for a driver in the 95 because you know that you've got somebody in behind you that's trying to take advantage, trying to get around you, trying to see where you're faster, where you're slower. And we might actually see this attempt at a pass here, cutting that corner real close. And you can see trying to get down on the low side here on NASCAR 3 and 4. But to no avail, not able to, or check that, that's 1 and 2. NASCAR 1 and 2 as they come up on the backstretch. They're going to come down in the chicane. 199 peaks down low here into that chicane, but doesn't quite have enough to get there. And you can see he's cutting the corners. He's trying to take the shortest way around the racetrack and make up a little bit of ground. There you go. Charlie Widener going to move right on over in NASCAR 3 and 4, and he's going to let that 199 of Rob Haynes get on to step in, and he's going to cross through this final chicane before the start-finish line. I think he wanted to let the 199 go before they had any kind of issue to force here in that final turn. But great heads-up driving there by the 95. Noticing that the 199 a little bit faster there. Rob Haynes now in 7th place. He's going to set his sights now on James Lehman. Got a little bit of ways to go to get caught up to the last week's winner here at Talladega, but still going to do his best and get up there as quickly as he can. There's your 3rd place driver, Andrew Schultz, taking a look. Jeff Merck up in the top 5 as well. And still doing battle between these guys. Charlie Widener, 95, and the rising car, James Hearns in the 78 Ford, still battling back and forth for the 8th position. And you can see, if we can take a peek here at the leader, Scott Patton, he has checked out. He is very far ahead of this field, 15, almost 16 seconds over Christopher Davis. You can see Davis in the Tim Hortons number 38 car doing a good job holding on to second. He's got quite a gap in behind him, a little bit of a gap anyway. Andrew Schultz about 0.6 of a second in behind him as the 81's actually going to come down pit road here for the first pit stop of the night. Jeff Merck going to follow him in there as well in the 60 Skeeter Boats car. James Lehman as well, the 05, last week's winner. Ooh, burning those tires up. He's going to have an opportunity to fix some of that hood damage as well. So 3 drivers in here, halfway point now, and this may very well force the issue on some of the rest of the leaders, rather. James Lehman in the 78 car is going to come down as well. Now these drivers are going to come down. They're going to have an opportunity to get 4 fresh tires before the rest of the field, so they're really going to be able to put down some blistering fast lap times to try and maybe close the gap up a little bit on Scott Patton here and some of these leaders. Eric Talent in the 5 car joining the drivers down on pit road to get service as well. 4 tires and Sunoco race fuel is what the doctor ordered, and they're going to get that car ready to rock and roll back out on track here with 16 laps to go. And here comes Scott Patton coming down pit road off of that final corner. That is the leader. He's more than likely going to be able to stop, get this pit stop, get back out on track without even losing the first position. He's got about 17 seconds over the leader, over the second place driver, Christopher Davis, who's actually going to come down as well. He's going to come down, get himself a double-double in 20 Timbits or 30 Timbits. However, they come in. Those are little donut holes up in Canada there at Tim Hortons. Little sponsor plug for those guys. But you can see he's going to come down pit road. Wesley Holland in the 41 car actually going to elect to stay out for another lap. Going to lead himself a lap, but it looks like the rest of the lead lap cars starting to come down. Rob Haynes in a 199, the beer store car, he's down here. Charlie Wider is down here as well in the Spam car. Going to get some service to that machine as well. Andrew Schulte is the 6th place driver. He already came down pit road last time by. He's going to pass these drivers that are on pit road, move himself into 3rd, and eventually up into 2nd, as Scott Patton still needs to make a pit stop, or Wesley Holland rather, still needs to make a pit stop there in the 41, and you can see skating those rear tires all over the racetrack. Rob Haynes, Charlie Wilder, Michael Milfeld Jr. currently on a pit road. Wesley Holland in the 41 car, currently your leader, taking that turn super wide. Loose in the back end of that race car, it appears to be, but he's going to do his best to try and get everything that he possibly can here. Remember, no cautions here at the road course. It just takes too long to get around here under caution, so we're doing all green flag laps, and that's what allows these drivers to have this kind of strategy. You can look in the rearview mirror now of Wesley Holland. Scott Patton is there. Scott Patton has already made a pit stop. He's got 4 fresh tires, and he's closing in on the leader, Wesley Holland, at this point. Very, very quickly, less than 2 seconds, 1.5 seconds is the gap, and just as we say that, it drops down to a second. So that car dangerously fast with 4 fresh tires. You can see he's going to close right in on the leader here. And Wesley Holland knows, you can already see he's looking at the rearview mirrors, trying to look for an opportunity. You can see Kim Quick coming off of pit road. Wesley Holland looking for an opportunity to let Scott go. He knows he's faster even without the tires, but he's got 4 fresh tires on the bottom of that 46 car here with 14 laps to go as we ride on board here with Wesley Holland. And you can feel and see and hear just how slick the car is on older tires, not really able to get back into the throttle as hard as he'd like to, as hard as Scott Patton is behind him, because he's got those 4 fresh tires. Just came down pit road 2 laps ago, and you can see 41 takes it nice and wide, high, wide, and handsome. Let Scott Patton go, and that's going to move the 46 car back into the lead. Andrew Schulte, currently the 3rd place driver, 18 seconds back, 18 and a half seconds back. So a lot of distance to try and make up to see if they can catch. Oh, Wesley Holland misses the chicane. Drives right on through, locks those tires up. I bet we'll see him on pit road next time by. He's going to have to go up towards the outside wall, give back some of that time back due to the track officials. And I would bet we're going to see the 41 car on pit road this time by. Here he comes. He's going to get some tires and some fuel, and potentially a quick little water break, because that was a little break in the conversation there from the 2nd place driver. But he's going to come down, get some service to that Dragon Lair Vapors car, and move himself back on the way. But still up front, Scott Patton, blistering fast lap times being put down. 17-second lead, 17.5-second lead over the new 2nd place driver now, Andrew Schulte, as Holland comes down pit road. Jeff Merck in the number 60 car, currently running in 3rd. 12 laps to go here at the Charlotte Roval. Scott Patton out front by a commanding margin. And these drivers trying to get themselves locked in. The final race here of the round of 12, trying to lock themselves into the round of 8 to get closer and closer here to the championship and get themselves into that championship hunt, racing for that championship. The final 4 drivers, or the top 4 drivers, and the point standings. Whoever finishes the best at Phoenix will walk away here with a Multi-League Cup Series championship. And Scott Patton out front by almost 20 seconds here, and has 10 wins on the season, working for win number 11. Many road course wins as well as very talented drivers throughout all the different disciplines of racing here. And you can see Wesley Holland appears to be back on track here in the 41 car. May very well have had an off-track incident there. You can see the right side of that car is a little bit scuffed up. You can see a little bit off the pace. Looks kind of squirrely there in the back end of the race car. You can see actually hits the outside wall. Looks like there's some damage on that 41 car, trying to hold on for 11 more laps in the 8th position. Give you a quick rundown here. Scott Patton up in the front. There you see him just picking these laps up, putting them down like the racetrack standing still. Andrew Schulte here in second in the 81 Cornflakes car. Got a bit of a distance in front of him to make up to Scott Patton, but he's also got a little bit of a cushion. And behind him to Jeff Merck in the 60-speed race car. There you see him driving on by on your screen. He's got a little bit of a challenge now from that 38 car of Christopher Davis. Holding on to the 4th position, Rob Haynes there in the 199 Beer Store car. Holding on to the top 5, he's in 5th. James Hearns in 6th rather in the 78 car. Charlie Widener, Wesley Holland, Vern Markheim, and Michael Milfeld here in the top 10. Eric Talent, Kim Quick, James Brown, and Bill Paradise, currently the drivers on the lead lap. Check that, Eric Talent in the last car, 1 on the lead lap. In 11th in that 5 car, Kim Quick is the first car, 1 lap down in 12. Scott Patton still the leader, picking these laps up, putting them down, making quick work here of Charlotte Roval, the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the road course that goes on down in through the infield. And you can follow along there on the left-hand side of your screen, as well as the track map over on the right side. And you can see just how much distance first and second place has there. Scott's trying to put the field a lap or 2 down, get everything done with this race, move on to the next one, and see if he can get himself a little bit closer to this championship hunt. 8 laps to go here at Charlotte Roval here, Multi-League Cup Series action. Final race in the round of 12, trying to find out which 8 drivers are going to move on to the championship round of 8, and then we're going to see which 4 of those drivers are going to move on to the championship race at Phoenix International Speedway here on Thursday, November 4th. Just a couple of weeks away, a little bit less than a month, we're going to have ourselves a Multi-League Cup Series champion here on Thursday nights. And you can see that this field very talented, full of talented drivers here. Scott Patton up front, 10 wins on the season, working very hard for number 11 as we cycle on through the field here. Taking a look at some of the exciting battles, and a lot of the battles are with the racetrack itself. A lot of these drivers given plenty of room throughout the racetrack to all their fellow competitors and race car drivers around the racetrack, just because they know it's very tight around this track. And really a lot of concrete walls throughout, no safer barriers on the infield or on the road course itself. Easy enough for me to say. As we take a peek, here's Bill Paradise in the 556 car, running back in 13th, trying to chase down 12th and 11th in front of him. Just 12. James Brown there in the 00 car, trying to hold on to that 12th spot. And these drivers know we're getting down to the final couple of laps here. 8 laps to go for Scott Patton, the leader. And taking a peek here, Eric Talent in the number 5 car. He's the last car on the lead lap, currently in 10th. He's more than a minute behind the leader, which is astounding to think that Scott Patton is able to put down laps that quickly. It's not to say anything against any of the other drivers, just Scott's got a really blistering fast pace at this point. Definitely shows that he's a strong competitor on the road courses. You can see the 78 is going to get around James Brown here, moving himself up a spot. And the 78 car in 6th is trying to chase down Rob Haynes to see if he can break himself into the top 5, but you can see he's got a little bit of a distance to try and make up here now. 7 laps to go for these drivers from the Multi-League Cup Series. We're going to find out which 8 of these drivers is going to move on to the championship round of 8. And again, we're going to be talking to these guys after the race, the top 3 drivers in the podium. And then next week, the Stone River Outfitters for the Patented Paints pre-race show. We're going to be talking to those 8 drivers a little bit, see if they've got any kind of strategy going into the next 3 races to see what they've got to do to get themselves in that championship race at Phoenix here on November 4th. Less than a month away, and we're going to see if we can find out who is going to be winning this championship. And everything's looking good so far for Scott Patton out front. Again, 22 seconds of a lead is absolutely blistering fast. You can see the difference there on the right-hand side of your screen, that track map between the first position and the second position. And as we take a peek here at Scott Patton, coming up on a little bit of lap traffic here in front of him, you can see he's chasing down the 9th and 10th place drivers of Michael Milfeld Jr. and Eric Talent. And he's got a little bit of a speed advantage here on him. You can see that championship 12 driver there on the front pillar of the race car, hitting the rubber strips as they come around the corners and just closing in, lurking, trying to get closer and closer and put these 2 drivers a lap down. We'll see how easily he's able to do it here. It looks like Talent's going to try and move up onto the way and give the preferred line to Scott Patton. But these drivers battling for position. They're going to try and see if they can stay on the lead lap. Patton's going to go up to the high side. Or check that. Talent's going to go up to the high side. Let Patton go by and set his sights now on the 123 Federated Auto Parts car of Michael Milfeld Jr. See if he can close in on him and get on around him here. Then it's a wide open racetrack at that point for Scott Patton. All he has to do is get around this racetrack and hit his marks, make sure that he doesn't make any kind of mistakes or anything like that, anything costly of that nature, and he'll be home free, coming home with number 11. But we still have 5 laps between here and now, so we will in fact see what happens. Scott Patton hold on to it. Andrew Schultz are currently running 2nd, Jeff Burke 3rd, Christopher Davis in 4th, and Rob Haynes holding on to the 5th position. laps now, the distance for Scott Patton. We ride on board, still running strong in that number 46 car. Hasn't made up, hasn't lost any ground. On second place, Andrew Schultz is still about 22 seconds on back. Plenty of cushion, plenty of room for error, but we hardly ever see Scott Patton make a mistake here on the road courses. What has in fact happened in the past here on Vanane TV on Thursday nights of the Multi-League Cup Series. We're going to keep an eye on that for sure, and we're going to find out if Scott's going to be able to hold on to that lead. There you see Jeff Merck in the third place, Skeeter Boats car, the number 60. Under fire now from Christopher Davis in the 38 Tim Hortons car. Closest battle on track is for third, trying to get onto the podium here. Great shots as these drivers get by. And these drivers trying to find themselves on the podium to get up in the post-race show and talk to us here in the booth. Rob Haynes back a little bit further there in the 199 beer store, dropped back into the fifth spot. James Hearns in the 78. You can see he's coming around in the rising 78 car. He's currently running in the sixth position. Charlie Wider, the Spam car, the 95 car, holding on the seventh. Wesley Holland, after a couple of incidences here, slaps that outside wall there, or inside wall there, trying to lift that car around. The car has definitely seen better days. You can see struggling with the handling just a little bit in the 41 car after some early race damage, but he's currently running in the 8th position. Eric Talent in the 5 is 9th, and Michael Milfeld Jr. is in 10th. We just saw those two drivers go a lap down to Scott Patton. So we've got 8 drivers on the lead lap here with 3 laps to go, and they're all trying to chase down Scott Patton in the number 46 car, but he's just picking them up, putting them down to go, and 3 laps to go here at the Charlotte Roval. Sifting around this racetrack, looking for the exciting battles, and the exciting battles are between the drivers and the race car, or the racetrack itself. Lots of room being given by all of these drivers here. They know that they're just trying to hold on to it. James Brown off track actually calls for a tow truck in that 00 car to get himself up and out of the way. That's going to be a tough night coming to an end there for the 00. It looks like he scored in the 13th spot with 2 laps to go here. Popsicle sticks in the air, going to maybe jump back a few more positions, but Scott Patton, 2 laps to go around this racetrack. All he's got to do is hit his mark for 2 more laps. He's got nobody in front, nobody in behind, plenty of room all the way around this racetrack to kind of slow down. You don't really want to slow down too much, because if you slow down and you've been running hard all race long, that's when you start to make mistakes, when you start to get a little bit comfortable. And that's definitely not something that Scott Patton wants to do. Wants to hold on here for win at number 11 on the season and move himself even closer to that championship race here at Phoenix in a couple of weeks' time. We got a couple of races to get there before then. And one more round, the round of 8. 8 drivers going for that championship battle. Scott Patton, 23 seconds now over Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz has another 7 seconds over Jeffrey Merck, and Jeff Merck still trying to hold off Christopher Davis there for that 3rd position. Has a couple of car lengths in between the two of them now. A little bit of a cushion, but not too much of a cushion. Jeff Merck still holding on to 3rd, and he's going to try and hold on to that spot for one more lap. But the white flag getting ready to be flown here for Scott Patton as he comes around that chicane one more time. Going to cross that start-finish line with the white flag from Barney up, and the flag stand hits that curb and gets that left side of the car off of the ground, and all he's got to do now is hit his marks. We'll ride on board here for a lap with Scott Patton around here. No pressure. We're just going to be along for the ride. You can see nobody in front of this 46 car. Lap cars, none. Cars doing battle, none. In the rearview mirror, nothing. All he's got to do is get around this racetrack nice and clean, hit his marks. A little bit of cosmetic damage to the grass, but back on the throttle nice and hard. Getting around these infield turns, driving around like it's a racetrack, really. You can see nice and clean through these corners here. He's going to come up on the final NASCAR turn, or turns 1 and 2 here for the NASCAR turn. There you see it. There's the crowd on their feet cheering on the 46 car. All the way up through the gears, going to come out of turn number 2 onto the NASCAR backstretch. Here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, he sees the checkered flag from here. Still just a couple of chicanes and a couple of corners here, all the way down to 1st gear, 2nd gear. Getting in through these corners, hitting the bus stop, bouncing off the curbing just a little bit. Hard on the hammer now one more time through NASCAR 3 and more with the number 46 car. And you can see that driver nice and smooth all the way around this racetrack. Checkered flag is flying. Barney in the flag stand, giving it his all. Final chicane, final little bus stop. Going to cross the start-finish line. Your winner, the number 46 car of Scott Patton. And he's going to stop and he's going to wait for these drivers to finish up the race. Look at his stopwatch and figure out where the heck everybody else is before he's able to do his victory burnout. Now you can see the second place driver, Andy Schulta. No pressure in behind, 7 seconds over Jeff Merck, and you can see he's going to cross into the second line. Sideways, how about that? Jeff Merck, he's got a battle now. Christopher Davis all over the back bumper in the final chicane, but not quite enough to get there. Jeff Merck finishes third, Christopher Davis fourth. Here comes Rob Haynes into the final backstretch, or into the final chicane in the 199 Beer Store Camry. He's going to hit those curbing, come on around close to the wall. Second flag for Rob Haynes as well. James Hearns still back a little bit further. Charlie Widener, Wesley Holland, the lead lap drivers that are going to come down, but the winner on the evening, win number 11 now for Scott Patton. How about that? Picking them up, putting them down, and making it look easy here at the Roval. And there you can see the results as these drivers finish everything up and start to get themselves down onto pit lane and get everything ready to rock and roll for next week. We're going to find out which 8 of these drivers are going to be running for the championship here as well. And really excited to head on in to the championship race here. But Scott Patton, the 46 car, the Stone River Outfitters car, coming home with the victory. He's going to knock over all those blue cones and burn it down here for the fans. And as he's burning them down, we're going to talk to the winner of the race here tonight, Scott Patton in the 46 car, win number 11 on the season. Spit out some of that smoke and talk to us, Scott. Great run.
Hey Paul, what's going on? Yeah, felt pretty good out there. I think our race prep paid off, and just a nice, consistent, smooth race. We had trouble, and number 11, I'll take that. It's been a good year for us.
100%, and very obviously moving on to the round of 8 here. 3 races in that final round of 8, and then the final race at Phoenix International Speedway, or Raceway rather, on November 4th. How's the confidence level as we get closer to the end of the season?
It's hard to say that it's anything but pretty good right now. I think everybody knows as these things finish off, it's a lot about the confidence and getting hot at the right time. So going into the last round here, feel pretty good about, I think it's, Kansas, Texas, and I don't know what the third one is.
I had it on my notes, lost it. But in any sense, we can bet the 46 car is going to be strong no matter
Martinsville.
What. Martinsville,
yeah,
that's right.
Be there. So yeah, looking good there. 3 strong tracks for us, and give them all we got here, and it's good to be hitting the marks here when it counts at the end of the season here.
Very high confidence for the 46 crew heading on into it. 11 wins on the season. Absolutely unheard of, but still the points leader. Going to be the points leader heading into the round of 8, and we'll see what happens here with the final round of 4, the final race of 4. Want to give you an opportunity, Scott, here to talk to the sponsors and thank the sponsors, anybody that might be watching out in Verdane TV world, man. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, appreciate it, Paul. Certainly you guys first for all you do at Verdane TV, put out these broadcasts. It's awesome to watch sometimes during and certainly after the fact. Stone River Outfitters for their series sponsorship. Appreciate all that they do for the series, pitching and helping out, make this league run. Check them out at StoneRiverOutfitters.com. And then who else was I gonna say? Oh, our brother Ken Conley. He's been not feeling too well. We all know that he's been struggling with some cancer issues, but he's holding strong down there in Alabama. And I just want to give a shout out to him in case he's watching. He usually races with us, but when he's not, it's usually not because of a lack of commitment, but because he's just not feeling up for jumping in the driver's seat with everybody else. So, thinking if you can, this one's for your brother.
Absolutely, definitely thinking of our brother in arms here. Great win here. Congratulations, man. Win number 11 on the season.
Appreciate it, Paul. Catch you next week.
We'll catch you next week with the Patent Spain's pre-race show, starting a new round. So we're going to be kicking it off a little bit earlier next week.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll be there.
We're going to slide down a little bit further here on pit road, catch up with the second place driver, Andrew Schulte, the Kellogg's Cornflakes number 81. Everybody's eating cornflakes tonight. P2 here on the evening. Talk to us.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to come away here with a second place. Obviously, we were nowhere close to Scott, and we're gonna wait till his car comes out of tech and see what happens with that, because that thing couldn't have been legal with how fast he was going. But congrats to him. No one pissing in our cornflakes with a second place finish, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, 100%. It's almost a race for second when Scott Patton's on a road course. Nothing against any of the drivers, but Scott seems to have these places figured out. I can barely turn left, let alone left and right. And some of you guys here in the Multi-League Cup Series, you guys make it look easy and definitely looking good here with a strong second place run. And heading into the final four races here for the season, what's the confidence look like for the rest of these last four races coming up?
I'm not actually really sure where we're racing at. I would assume we're following the Cup schedule. So if we got, was it Martinsville next week? At some point, I think we'll do decent at Martinsville. Phoenix, I'm kind of iffy there. So yeah, we'll see if we can just finish out the season with some top tens, maybe sneak in a win there. Top fives. But if we can sneak in a win there, that'd be pretty sweet. But we'll see how things go.
Definitely going to be able to ride some momentum here with a strong second place finish here at the Charlotte Roval. Want to give you an opportunity to thank whoever makes it happen for the virtual 81 team, any friends, family, sponsors, partners, teammates, any of that stuff. The microphone is all yours.
Shout out to Patented Paints, first of all, for this paint again. Can't give him enough credit for this bad boy. Also, congrats on the win for him. Want to welcome Mr. Jeffrey Mark to the Bandit Motorsports team. Just joined this week, so it's neat to have him on board, and got a Bandit 1, 2, 3 there. Rob rounding out the top 5 for us. So all in all, for Bandit was a good day.
100%, and riding that momentum one more time into next week. I believe we're at Texas next week, so that'll be entertaining to watch here on Vinane TV. But a good, solid run. Congratulations, man. Second place, Andrew Schulte.
Appreciate it.
And the newest member of Bandit Motorsports finishes third. Bandit Motorsports, 1, 2, 3. Jeffrey Merck in the 60 Skeeter Boats car. Talk to us, Jeff. Great race here tonight. A little bit of battling back and forth with some other drivers, but coming home with a solid third-place finish.
Yeah, for sure. Podium finish on a road course for me, that's like a winning by 20 seconds, because I normally suck at road courses.
Yeah, and made it look easy here tonight, and I was just joking with Andrew. I can barely turn left, and you guys here in the Multi-League Cup Series make it look easy going left and right here at the Charlotte Roval. And really nobody able to hold a candle to Scott Patton here tonight in the 46 car. But like you said, solid podium finish here for the third place. What does your confidence level look like heading into these final four races?
It looks really good. No more road courses, so I might be all right. We'll see what happens. I know I have plans the Thursday of the Martinsville race. We're going to a concert, so hopefully I can build up a good enough lead or something. I don't know, but big shout out to Bandit Motorsports. Guys invited me over. Really proud to be a part of this team. Big shout out to Christopher Davis for making me run so hard there at the end to wrap up the 1, 2, 3 finish for Bandit. Patented Paints for this Skeeter performance fishing boat, Eat Sleep Fish. Chris, best spotter in the business. He wasn't here tonight, but he might be watching on TV. So I hope we did Bandit Motorsports proud. Last but not least, loving wife inside. She normally doesn't watch road courses, but I want to let her know I love her anyway. So, and Paul Strickland Jr. up in the booth.
That's right. Good solid run here on to, I believe, Texas next week. Either way, we're going to be talking to you before the race and see if we can figure out what's going on for these final four races heading into the championship race at Phoenix here on November 4th. But a great run. Solid podium finish. P3 for the 60 car. Congratulations.
Thanks, Paul.
And that's going to wrap things up here for us at the Charlotte Roval here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Great racing action. 31 laps up, 31 laps down. Scott Patton leads them all but one. Green flag pit stops coming down and changing that up just a little bit, but a solid run for Bandit Motorsports. 1, 2, 3. Scott Patton, Andrew Schulte, and Jeffrey Merck finishing out the podium races. Taking a quick peek here at the weekly schedule. We are off for a couple of days, but we're coming back Monday with the Sim 500 Trans Service Cup Series. Going to be Tuesday night action. We're going to have the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series from the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group. Wednesday night doubleheader action returns. Tim's Corner Motorsports brings us Tim's Corner Live, Loose Lugs Racing after that. And then next Thursday, right back here with the Multi-League Cup Series. The month of October is hot. We are ready to rock and roll. Lots of shows coming up here in the month of October. Some big shows coming up in November, and we're going to be going all the way strong through the final months of winter into the springtime and on into 2022. But for everybody here with the Multi-League Cup Series, Stone River Outfitters, Venane TV, I am in fact Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. We'll catch you on the flip side. When we do, we're going to be doing it live.